All right, everyone. It is time for the Perils mini set arena review brought to you by the DRE. Some might say it's a little cringe that I start the review like this, but you know what? We don't care. We don't care because we have to put some oomph into our review, you know? Some oomph, right, Lori? Some oomph. Thank you, Lori. And let's get into it. So we're going to review all of the cards for Arena, chat. Everything, only care about Arena. So if you're looking for standard reviews, you got to look up Bunny Hopper's review, or I don't know how many other people do reviews anymore, but I can't help you with that. I'm going to use a scale from 1 to 5, where 3 is an average card. Currently, we're going to set the bar for a 3 at a spider tank that does a little something something. Okay, so if you're a 3-mana 3/4, you're now below average these days, like probably quite below average. So you got to be a 3-mana 3/4 with like a little bit of like a little okay? And yeah, let's jump into it. Show Twitch chat, coward. You know, honestly, I should have Twitch chat on here for the reviews in the future. All right, Eternal Layover. We're starting with DK. You can see because of the runes. So, first card, Eternal Layover. 4 mana, single unholy. Give all minions reborn, then destroy all minions. This one's really easy. This is dog shit. Dog doo-doo. Absolute ass. Easy one. Like, what? Bro, what is that? And then chat's like, well, what if you have Eliza and then you copy it and then you get multiple Elizas and then yeah, what if all your cards are really good with a reborn and theirs aren't? Like, bro, it's awful. Do not draft it ever. Okay. Well, that was easy. This is gonna be the fastest review ever. Next up is Soul Searching. 2 mana. This is double unholy. Whenever I see like double unholy now, like double anything, I'm kind of like Keck W. I feel like a rainbow is just. Isn't it true for standard too? Isn't rainbow just like the thing? So I don't know. I mean, maybe it will change with some of these cards, but I feel like anytime I see like double unholy, I'm like, unless you have farm handed or something like that, then maybe be a little bit different. All right, Soul Searching. Discover a card from your deck. Spend 5 corpses to copy. It's a shadow spell. Huh. I don't really like it, chat. Do you guys like it? I just would rather spend my corpses on another swing of corpse render or another like 2 corpsicles or something. Like if you hit your legendary or some like super powerful card, it can be pretty good, but it's like I don't know. I don't really love it. DK does have draw issues. I mean, Unholy can, right? For a lot of the draw comes from Frost cards. So, you know, like, it could be okay if you do end up going double Unholy. But I really feel like if I'm spending 5 corpses, I should get, like, a stat boost or something, you know? Like, 5 corpses is a lot, and there's a lot of good things to spend it on. So, I feel like it's kind of meh. I'm going to go with below average, like a 2, maybe 2.5. It's not awful, right? Like, you would take this card if your deck is good, I think. But if your deck is, like, kind of bad and then getting another mediocre card, not that good. All right. They might want to do some soul searching because this card's not very good. Whoever made it might need to do. Sorry. All right, Travel Security. Next one up for DK. 6 mana 2/2 undead. Taunt, Death Rattle, summon a random 8-cost minion. So the first thing I thought of when I saw this card was the mech. What is the name of the mech? Containment Unit. So it's kind of like Containment Unit, except it has less stats on the front end, and it has Taunt. So it's like a variation kind of Containment Unit. I believe this card will be. I guess we know the sets that are in chat. Is Death Growl still in the meta? Do we know? Is Death Growl in or no? Because like if Death Growl is in, or like a way to really pop off with the Death Rattle stuff, then I think it'll be pretty good. But his taunt at least makes at least 4. I think the fact that his taunt is a huge deal. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's such a good target for like buy one get one freeze and stuff. So it's kind of scary. Death Growl is in. Okay. Yeah, I mean that would be a pretty good combo. I think that like I do agree. Like if this card didn't have taunt, I think it's pretty bad. But I think with taunt, it's probably like 3.54 range. And I think the potential probably for me makes it a 4 because I talk about this a lot in Arena now. You need to have ways to pop off. Like you need to have a huge swing turn where you make a giant board or like some way to cheese kind of out the game. And this is a pretty good way to do that. So yeah, I'll give this one a 4. Okay. Next up, chat. Demon Hunter. Demonic Deal. 2-mana Fel spell. Lifesteal. Deal 4 damage to a minion. Put a random demon that costs 5 or more on the top of your deck. Wait, chat, it's funny. When I originally read this, I didn't realize it's not a card from your deck. You literally just get a random demon. Okay. I mean, demons that cost more than 5 should be pretty good, right? I would guess. Like, obviously, you know, you get that instead of a draw from your deck, but I think this card's pretty good. I think just the fact that it says, like, lifesteal and deal 4 for 2 is pretty solid. Like, it just does a lot. So it's a lot of tempo and healing, right? So this card, I'm not the only one. Yeah, I don't know. When I read it, I really thought it was like you had to have it in your deck, which makes it worse, but yeah, I like it. I think healing is pretty valuable these days, too, in Arena with all the infinite damage stuff from DK. Any stinker deals? I'm sure there are some bad ones that are 5+, you know, that are just like expensive and kind of suck, but I think this card's quite good. Is it I'm going to go with a 4.5. I'll go with a 4.5. I'd have to kind of do a full analysis of the demon pool to really know if it's like anywhere near like a 5. But I would guess there's some bad ones or like mediocre ones, you know. All right. Not bad. Infernal Stapler. 3-mana 3/3. After your hero attacks, deal 3 damage to your hero. After your hero attacks, deal 3 damage to your hero. I don't think I want that. Imagine this in a straight. Talk about the last one. Is the last one any good in Constructed? I actually have no idea. I'm so far from understanding how Standard works these days. I just don't follow it anymore. I used to follow it a decent amount, but now like I don't follow it much. Yeah, this seems pretty bad, right? How is the card in 2024? I mean, obviously, it's very tailored for Standard, right? Like, the idea is, like, who cares that you're taking damage? You're going to kill them because you're playing whatever, the Pirate DH or whatever, right? But it seems pretty awful. It synergies with a Priest Tourist. Sure, I guess. I guess it's the idea of it, but yeah. It seems like a 1.5 or 2 or something, right? Like, it's just it's so dual-sided that it doesn't seem very good. Everything is for the tourist cards, which aren't in Arena, right? Okay, we can't start molding. All right, listen, we're just started the review. No molding. Spirit Peddler, 6-mana 6/6 demon. Rush, Death Rattle, reduce the cost of a random minion in your hand by 6. All right, so this is one of the cards you could get from that 2-cost spell. I think this card's pretty good. Like, in the worst case, you probably reduce like a 2-drop to be free or whatever. But if you hit like a 4-drop plus, it's gonna be pretty insane. So I think this is a good card. I wouldn't say it's broken, because so often in Arena you'll hit like a 2-drop or whatever. But it's good. It's a good card. Like a 3.5. I don't think it's quite a 4, but I'll go with the 3.5. It definitely has potential, right? Like if you hit a big card, Tempo Swing will be insane. I guess you could cheat out a big thing, huh? Like, let's say you play this, and you could also tailor your hand a little bit, right? Like, before you play this, you could dump a bunch of little shitters. Actually, maybe I like it more than a 3.5. I'm just thinking about it, because, like, you can wait until you're likely going to get a big payoff, right? Yeah, okay, I'll go a little higher. I'll go with the 4. More I think about this one. Seems all right. Seems like you'll be able to make a situation where it's likely going to be good. Okay. Can also trigger the death threat with a spell. Yeah. There could be some combos or whatever, right? All right, Druid. Druid time. Handle with Bear. Gotta say, I'm not one for the cheesy names, but this name is pretty great. Handle with Bear. Get 2 3/3 bears with taunt. Each turn they are in your hand, they gain +1/1. So this seems insane to me, chat. Do the bears cost 2 mana? Hold on. Oh, they're 3 mana. Okay. I mean, it's still probably okay. It's still probably like a good card, but I think at 2 mana, the bears have been it would have been really broken. So you play this on 2. I'm just trying to think of how that plays out. You probably want to wait till like turn 6, and then you play each turn in your hand, they gain +1. So on turn 6, they go approximately the end of your turn. So end of turn 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can place 2 7/7 bears. Ooh, that's pretty nasty, right? 2 7/7 bears with taunt. Play a 4/4 on 3. Yeah. I mean, you could also do that, right? Just tempo 1 out. Okay, that seems pretty good. Does this guy play Arena anymore? Chuck, we just played a run. It was miserable, and now we're reviewing, and it's much more fun. But we'll play some more later, maybe, Chuck. Maybe. Okay, I think it's good. Like a 4? I think it's like a 4. Maybe even higher, like a 4.5. I don't know, like if you pass turn 2, which kind of sucks, but you're gonna get the tempo back pretty quickly. It kind of reminds me of Cheese in a bit, in a way. The bears cost 3, yeah. I was thinking the bears cost 2, and then I think it'd be like a 5-star card, but maybe 4 is fair. It's like 4 to 4.5, I feel. But I'll give it a 4. All right. Get 2 Michas, basically. The thing is, like, you can't play it on the same turn, so it's a little weird. But I think it's good. All right. Number Cruncher. 4 mana, 2/1 beast. Rush, taunt, and choose thrice. Gain +2 attack or +2 health. I will say I really like the design of this card. I think, like, it reminds me a little bit of Adapt. And I personally really like the Adapt mechanic in Arena. That's a throwback to what, Ungoro? But I think, like, making the right decisions on these kind of things will be important. Sometimes it'll be obvious, but maybe sometimes it won't be as obvious. I don't think it's super strong. So let's see. The most likely scenario is you play it for a I guess you could play as a, it's pretty flexible though, right? So you could play it as a 2/7, is that right? A 2/7 taunt. Feels like you'll be playing it as like a 4/5 rush. It's just a fine card, right? Yeah, Volcanosaur in Arena before constructed. Yeah, Volcanosaur was really good too. Yeah, those were fun times. But I think this card's good. Good, but not like great. They did say they were going to make some arena specific content. Well, so next year, Bunny, they're doing some kind of big arena change. We don't know what it is, but they're doing something, which hopefully will be good, not bad. 4.81 rush. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, it's flexible. I think this card's fine, like a 3.5. My issue is I look at this card and what is it? Park Panther, right? Is that the name of the card? Is it Park Panther? The 4/4 rush, give your hero +3 attack. Like, that card is way better than this still. And that card's from, like, I don't know, 2 years ago or something. So 3.5 honestly might be a little high. It might just be a 3, this one, but. Oh, I got you. Because you're memeing because these are all play. I've heard that people are really pissed about this mini set so far. Like, maybe not pissed, but people just think it's really low power level for what people are doing in standard. I would argue that, I don't know, again, like, standard's just gone so far from what I like to play. So I feel like a step back in a way might be a good thing, but it's hard to go back. It's hard to go back. All right, Ungoro Brochure. Speaking of Ungoro. 4 mana, draw 2 minions, give them +2/2. Flips each turn. So what's the other version of it? 4 mana, draw 2 spells. They cost 1 less. What do you guys think of this one? 4? Man, I don't know. It doesn't seem very good, does it? It's like just spending 4 mana. Like, this just seems like this seems like it's supposed to be a standard card where you have, you know, a ton of mana crystals. Spending 4 mana for that, like the +4/4 in stats isn't going to be worth, right? Yeah, it seems like a 2 to me. No, kind of mediocre. All right, we did the bear, onto hunter. Monkey business. 4 mana, add 8 bananas to your hand. Any that can't fit are randomly fed to friendly minions in play. I feel like this card could be good. I'm just trying to, like, a lot of classes have full hands. I'm just not sure if Hunter is one of them, you know? Like, that's my issue with this card is, like, for some classes, I think it would be really good, but, like, if you're playing it and just filling your hand with bananas, it's awful, right? Like, you have to have a pretty full board. Might be good in almost any class in Hunter. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. It's like, at least from an arena perspective, it makes, like, no sense. Like, I just feel, like, best case, I feel you get, I don't know, like 4 bananas on the board. You have 6 cards in hand or whatever. Like, I don't know. Doesn't seem very good. Like a 3, I don't even know. I feel like this is a below average card, man. It just feels not good enough. And just so you guys know, when we do the reviews, I can't really respond to questions relating to other things like normal. Because, you know, like fantasy or whatever, because I got to be in the zone and talking about monkey business. But don't worry, after the review, we can go back to our usual shooting the shit, okay? All right. The art on this card is just so troll. Workhorse. 3 mana, 4/2 beast. Death Rattle, summon 2 2/1 ponies. I mean, this seems really good, though, right? Like, that's so many stats. A 4/2 that gives you 2 2/1s. Like, it's got to be good, right? Like a 4? It seems like a good card for Hunter, too. Because it's, like, 4 attack makes it kind of an aggressive 3-drop. So if you ignore it, it's going to smirk pretty hard, right? Red's a workhorse when it comes to arena. Agree. Yeah, I feel like it's like 4.5 range. I guess I'll give it a 4. It's going to be super annoying for sure. Yeah, it's like a mini high main. All right, Cash Cow. 5 mana, 3/7 taunt. It's a beast. Whenever this takes damage, you get a coin. Huh. It's an interesting card. What do you guys think? A rogue card? Is this built around like a tourist mechanic or something? Like it's so confusing because tourist is not an arena, and a lot of these cards are just made for tourists, and it's like, what, huh? I mean, a 5 mana 3/7 isn't very good stats anymore. It does have taunt, but the stats are pretty bad. I think it's gonna be like slightly below average. Like, there's a world where you get like 2 coins from it, and then it's like kind of okay. I mean, I guess there's a world where you get like 3, but it just, I don't know. It doesn't feel quite good enough anymore. Like a 2.5 maybe. I'll go 2.5. It's an odd card though. Oh, here's the pony, the token. All right. On to everyone's favorite, Mage. God, we heckin' love Mage. Portal Mancer Skyla. 5 mana 4/5, Rogue Tourist. Battlecry, swap the cost of the lowest and highest cost spells in your hand. Well, it's not an arena because it's a tourist. So I guess we get fucked and don't get legendaries in arena again because they thought the tourist mechanic was so good. They had to make more of it. Wow, awesome. Also, I almost never flame Hearthstone art. I almost never flame Hearthstone card art, but what the fuck is this card art? Like, what is the face? Like, what? Like, it just looks ridiculous. I don't know, chat. This card just looks ridiculous to me. It's like nightmare fuel. The hands are like huge. I don't know. I'm not going to give this a score, by the way, if you're like, why the hell no score? It's on the arena, so. It doesn't matter. If it's not an arena, it doesn't matter. Okay. Burn down. 3 mana, draw 3 cards and light them on fire. In 3 turns, and he's still in hand or destroyed. It's a fire spell. Dude, this is another card where I'm like, what year is this made for? Like, this card just makes, like, to me, this makes, like, no fucking sense. It's like, why? What? Like, 3 mana, draw 3 cards that you, like, that you have to play quickly? Like, I like, it just seems so bad, man. Like, it's like a 1 or like a 1.5 or something. Don't get me started on this, like, it's basically like a temporary effect. But, yeah, I don't know. Just seems really bad for current stuff. Give it a 1.5. It's for super aggressive, low-cost spellman. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it, but can't we just make cards that are, like, just good in general? Like, do we, like, again, I have arena brain, so, you know. Yeah, I get it. It's just, I want more cards that are, like, just universally good cards. But I guess it's harder and harder to do these days. All right, Huddle Up. 7 mana. Fill your board with random Naga. So I will say, chat, your average random Naga is kind of bad in terms of, like, stats. Like, I saw something on Twitter. I think you're going to average, like, a 3/3 or something from this. But I still feel like even if you average, like, a 3/3, it's still going to be good. Because, like, it kind of reminds me of the Shaman 6 mana card, Wish Upon a... No, is it Wish Upon a Star? No, Once Upon a Time. Excuse me, the 6 mana summon a bunch of 3-drops. I feel like you'll get a slightly better board than that on average, and that card's pretty insane. Did have Taunt, Rush, or Lifesteal, though? Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I still think just, like, make a big board is good, though. This is probably the most played card from the set. I guess, is Big Spell Mage going to actually be a thing in Standard? Because I hope so, because then maybe I'll actually play, but I think this card will be good in Arena. Like, 4.5? I don't know. Like, oftentimes I am kind of just needing to make a board. Like, sometimes in Arena these days, I'll play, like, the 7 mana 4/5 generator for just, like, 2 or 3 to make a board. So I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna go actually a little higher. I'm gonna go a 4.5. Maybe that's a little bit high, but I feel like with Mage, it's gonna work. Like, you'll just be able to make a board out of nowhere, which is nice. All right. On to Paladin. Trustfall. 4 mana. Discover 2 minions that cost 5 or less. They gain each other's attack and health. Oh, you were saying the card draw one will be good for the spell mage. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Doesn't this seem bad? Like, I don't know. Like, you're gonna get a bunch of 2-drops offered, right? And it's like it's 4 mana. Like, does it seem good? Doesn't seem good to me. I mean, I would guess you want to play it, like, later in the game, but it's like, would you trust chat to fall? I wouldn't trust you guys to catch me. No, definitely not. I don't know. This just seems bad to me. Like a 2, maybe. Like. Even if you high roll, it's like a stat dump, but who knows if the minions will do something? Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem very good. Okay, this card is good though. Busy Bot. 2 mana, 3/2 mech. Battlecry, give your 1 attack minions +1/1. So it's again, we're looking at Paladin cards. So it busts your hero power, right? How many 1 attack minions are there for Paladin? I mean, just the fact that it will buff your hero power makes it pretty good. So I think Busy Bot's pretty solid. Like a 4.5, something like that. It's like you can play it with the I don't know how many hero power synergy cards are in the game for this rotation, but it's so much easier to combo this than like like a quartermaster effect or some big effect. So the 1 mana 1/3 mech, ain't no way it's 4.5. I mean, the way I see this card is it's a 2 mana 3/2, so its stats are fine, and it's gonna be very easy to combo. I feel. Yeah, some mechs and stuff. Like, it doesn't have to do a whole lot for a 2-drop to be really high value, in my opinion. That's only minions on the board, right? Yeah. Right, chat? Right? I mean, if it buffed all of your 1 attack minions, it'd be like the best card ever, no? It must be just on your board. Yeah, but it's in 2 unless you develop something. I mean, you can, though, right? Like, that's the thing. You can just tempo it out as a 2 mana 3/2. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, including future hero powers. You guys don't think it's a 4? Okay, we'll go with a 4. You guys talked me into dropping a little bit, but it's a good card. You'll be taking a lot. The Busy Bot. I saw a bunch of standard players on Twitter were like crazy about this card. Vacation Planning. 4 mana. Restore 4 health. Summon 3 silver hand recruits and draw 2 cards. I think it's pretty good. Like, I don't think it's broken, but I think it's pretty good. Because, like, if you compare it to some of those other cards, this card gives you some tempo immediately. It's like tempo, refill, and some, like, survival stuff, right? It's because Flood Paladin is a tier 1 deck in Standard. So it really fits into that that archetype. Yeah, I mean, I again, like, you'll want to play, like, later on, but it kind of reminds me of the Shaman card, the 5 mana 2/4 summoner. Forget the name of it, but you get 2/2/4s and you get some health and stuff. This one draws, and that one's a little bit better, I'd say, tempo, but kind of similar ideas. So what do you guys think? Like a 4? Yeah, I don't think it's like a 4.5, to be honest. It's good though. It's good. It's insta-pick. Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's good. It's very good, but I wouldn't say it's like, it's not like an auto win card type thing. Which if you're 4.5, you're kind of getting into that range for me. All right. Okay, on the Priest. Silver Moon Brochure. 2 mana, give a minion immune this turn and +2/2. Okay. That's not bad. What's the other version? Silence a minion and give it -2/2. This card is going to be really troll when you like want to when you really want to silence something and it's in the buff form. I don't know, man. Do you guys like these kind of like flip cards? It reminds me a little bit of the again, I think it might have been Ungoro, where you had the rush minions that like swap their stats. So you could have a 3/8 Divine Shield Rush or an 8/3 Divine Shield Rush. Kind of a similar idea. And sometimes it was like the perfect card, and sometimes it was just ass. Was that Witchwood? Okay, you're right. It's Witchwood. Yeah. I think this card's fine, though. I mean, +2/2 and immune is pretty good, and sometimes a silence is pretty clutch. And you can even use it just to, like, kill something and not silence it or whatever, so I think it's okay. Like a 3.5? It's, like, fine. I don't know. Maybe it's a 3. I'm just comparing it to like the priest card that gives +2/2 and then you heal at the end of the turn. Just kind of similar to that. I'll go a little higher. I'll go 3.5. It's fine. All right, what's next? Okay, this is a weird card to evaluate. Envoy of Prosperity. 2 mana 4/4. Battlecry, put the highest cost card in your hand on the top of your deck. So what do you guys think about this one? For me, it feels like a really weird card to have as Priest. It's like, am I going to try to smork him down with this 4/4? Like, yeah, it's basically Bibliomite. Except this card, you guarantee lose your least... Okay, I wouldn't say least important card, but your card that you're not going to want to play. Well, I guess you get it back next turn, though, huh? It doesn't really matter too much. It's just -1 card, basically, right? Awkward, bad. I feel like in Priest, it's not going to be great. Like, if it's a meta where Priests have full hands, and the tempo will be good, but yeah, I don't know. -1 card for a 4/4 on 2. It's like, it could be okay. 2.5. I don't want to say it's like bad, because, you know, like, obviously you could play this and you could play the buff card, right? So I think it's one of those things where it will get drafted less than it probably should, because people will hate that feeling of like losing a card. But I'm going to go slightly below average, but I don't think it's unpickable. You're sticking with a 5? I don't think it's 5. It's 5. All right. Job Shadower. 3 mana 4/3 undead. Battlecry, if your hero took damage this turn, summon a copy of this. I mean, I guess this card could be kind of relative in dual class. Like, I know there's this like self-damage priesting, but in Arena, like, all those cards are such ass. The only one that's like kind of okay is a drink spell. But like in dual class, you know, you could use a weapon, or you could be a warlock and tap and play 2 4/3s for on turn 5 or something. It's like kind of okay. It's probably like, because again, we're evaluating for the dual class meta, right? It's probably like what, like a 2.5? Could be all right. Okay. On to Rogue. Robo Caller. 3 mana 3/2 mech. Battlecry, draw an 8/8 and 8 cost card, numbers dialed randomly each turn. I actually really like this card. Because like the way I see it is, you want ways to draw that aren't horrible for tempo. And you're basically losing 1 mana in stats to draw 3. And I think the way Arena goes these days, like being able to tailor, like being able to tutor certain cards matters a lot. So like if there's a way to greet it for, you can't like giga greet it, right? But if you can try to tailor like one of the mana costs that you want, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, you draw 3. Well, you draw 3 cards if you have 3 cards of whatever type, right? So, you know, you could draw 0 in theory, but yeah. I think it's very good, though. Your hand is always full when you play Rogue, though. I mean, not always. Not always. I think the fact that you can kind of decide when to play it and what you're going to target makes it quite good. Like, probably... it's like a 3.5 to 4 range for me. I feel like it's pretty good, though. I'm going to go with a 4. I think the numbers can... No, they can all be different. It's basically just like roll and... Wait, is it capped at 8? Do you guys know that? Like, is 8 the highest it can go? Oh, it's up to 9. Okay. Okay. How would you know that from the card? I mean, I just know, I guess, but... I feel like if it's up to 9, it should have said on the card, draw 9, 9, and 9, numbers dialed randomly. It's a phone. They have 0 to 9 digits. Oh, sorry. My bad. Okay, my bad. I guess I have to be a lore expert to know that this a phone that it's a little robocaller and it's okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Why don't you just put it on the fucking card or like tell me? Well, of course it's a phone. Well, like okay, I don't fucking pay attention to that stuff. Okay, I'm sticking with the 4 rating though. All right. Agency Espionage. 4 mana, shuffle a card from each other class into your deck. They cost 1. You know what else is 1? The fucking rating for this garbage. Easy 1, dude. Easy 1. And before you guys say anything, I know I'll lose to this card at some point. I know it will happen. I know it will happen. But it's an easy 1. But it's like, I know I will lose to it. But yeah. Guys, you have to spend 4 mana. 4 mana. It doesn't even draw when you play it. Like, it's giga bad. It's giga bad. All right. Speaking of giga bad, Sharp Shipment. 4 mana, give your weapon +2/2. What is this? What the fuck is this card? What? This is one of the cards in our like. Why is that a card? I think when I talked about this before, everyone said Wild. Well, fuck Wild, dude. If Wild needs this, then fuck Wild, all right? Because I don't want Sharp Shipments showing up in my drafts. I mean, I love you Wild players, I do, but like, if I have to decide, I have to have Sharp Shipment or F Wild players, and I'm on the F Wild players side of things. Like, this card's absolute garbage, and I hate it. And I'm gonna have to look at it in my rogue drafts repeatedly and never take it. On to Shaman. Oh, look. Another legendary that won't be in Arena. Wow, great. So we pick from one of 3 legendaries, and the mini set, much like the original expansion, has a bunch of legendaries that won't be in Arena. Wow, that's really exciting. God, I'm getting so hyped for Arena with all these cards that aren't even in the game. 4 mana, 3/4 elemental hunter tourist. Battlecry, give +1/1 to all of the Battlecry minions in your hand, deck, and battlefield. I mean, the thing that sucks is like, I would kind of like to just have this in Arena anyways. Like, couldn't they just take the hunter tourist part out and just make it a draftable card for like Shaman? Like, I don't know, like that's just kind of cool. I don't think it would be like super strong, but it'd be nice if they could just like put this one in and like the Valera one in. Like, I don't know, just whatever. Too much work, I guess, man. I guess. All right, Ice Crown Brochure. 2 mana frost spell. Deal 3 damage to a minion and freeze its neighbors. 3 damage to a minion and freeze its neighbors. Okay. Seems kind of awkward to use. This other version. Deal 3 damage to a minion and 1 to its neighbors. And what is, chat, why does this card just seem like ass? You think it's good? I think this card's ass. It just feels like Combustion, but it's like not always going to be good. For 2 mana, I guess it's 1 mana cheaper than Combustion. That's true. So it's 2 mana, deal 3. Or like a mini Combustion. It's like okay. I don't know, man. It's very specific though, right? Like you have to either... Oftentimes the freeze won't matter. It'll just be 2 mana, deal 3. I suppose that there are times where this form will be really good though, where you're able to kill something and like ping some shitters. Okay, maybe it's alright. Maybe I was a little bit too hard on it. Better than Frostbolt? Yeah, I mean, it's better than Frostbolt. Probably, but Frostbolt's a card from fucking 2014. So, yeah. As some people asking, I'm not a fan of dual class being in Arena again. Like I've been tired of dual class for a month and a half. Okay. You guys talked me into it being okay. 3.5. I still don't think it's great. All right, I'll go 3.5, I guess. It is cheap. Like, this version is much better than the other version, I think. But there will be times where the freeze will be annoying, right? So, sure. Hydration Totem. 2 mana, 0/3 totem. At the end of your turn, give adjacent minions +1/1. Kind of interesting card. I don't think it's terrible. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is it kind of forces a reaction from your opponent. Like, there are times where, like, I think if you're in a position to play this, your opponent's going to want to kill it. So it's an okay card. It's just not a 2-drop, right? Like, it's more of like something you drop on turn 5, 6 or something along when you already have a little bit of a board. But the thing is, like, unless you have a clear board, they're just going to be able to, like, trade into it. It's okay. I don't know, like a 3 maybe? It's, like, alright. The thing is, like, you compare this to other 2-mana cards, and it's like you could get a Holy Spell or a random Elemental or something, and I'd much rather have that than this. Yeah, it is good with the 1-mana Frog Spell. It is. It's true. But, I mean, how often will you have the combo, right? But, yeah. It could be good with that. I'm just going to go with the 3. Okay, we are on to Warlock. Deadline. 2-mana tradable, temporary, destroy a minion shadow spell. So I'm a big hater of the temporary keyword that we seem to be getting. But I like this card. I think this card is a well-designed card for the temporary mechanic, because you can, you know, you have to decide if you want to trade it away for a better time for it to be good, or like, does it make sense with the mana on your turn? If you don't have the mana to trade it away and you have a good play, you know, you have to decide, oh, am I willing to just let this card go? So this is a card that I think, like, there's a lot of decisions around what to do with it, and I like that. So I think this card's actually a really well-designed card. What's the rating for? I think it's good. I like it's kind of like the Paladin card, right? The 2-mana removal Paladin card. What's the name of that card, chat? The quick draw one. It's very similar in to that card. So I think it's good. Yeah, late in the law, like a 4 or so. Can you tell? If you guys are wondering where you can see all the cards, you can go to Hearthstone Top Decks, and you can, that's where I'm pulling it from. Hearthstone Top Decks. But yeah, I think it's good, like a 4. Yeah, so I guess we haven't talked about temporary. So temporary means you have to play it that turn or it's gone. So I really dislike the idea of it in general. There's a neutral card that when we get to talking about it, I'll go in on temporary a bit. But you can think of it like the Snow Flurry. The Snow Flurry card, it's like Snow Flurry. It's the effect from Snow Flurry. You don't play it that turn, they're just gone. But yeah, this one obviously is a bit different, because if you have 1 mana, you have to have the mana to be able to trade away, then it can come back and be useful later. So, no, not every temporary card is tradable. Yeah. This one's good, though. 4? 2-mana kill thing. It's going to be tilting when they top deck this when you play a big thing. But yeah, I know. This one will. When my opponent draws it. And they're able to play, like, I don't know, fucking Jiraxis behind it because it's only 2 mana or something. Yeah. But I think that card's pretty good. All right, Fine Print. 4-mana shadow spell. Deal 4 damage to all minions. Excess damage hits your hero. So I guess what that means is if you clean kill a board of just 4/4s, you don't take any damage, right? But if you kill like 3/2s, you take 2 damage for each 3/2 killed. Is that correct? Is that how this works? Man. And it's double-sided? Ugh. Seems pretty bad. Feels like a card printed in 2018. Well, again, like, this is supposed to fit into whatever the self-damage archetype of Warlock is, but I don't know. I talked about it a lot with the expansion. I feel it again with the mini set. It's just a bad arena set, because so many of these cards are only relevant with, like, a specific tourist and standard and specific cards. And it's like, that's just a bad way to make cards. If, like, they're only good in like, very specific situations. I don't know. I dislike this card a lot. And I think it's pretty bad, like a 1.5 or 2. I don't know. It's a bad card. It's really good with Harp. Yeah, but again, like, I'm an arena person, so, like, you're not gonna have Harp when you play it, right? Seems bad for standard as well. Doesn't really synergize with what Pain Lock does. Yeah, I don't know, man. How much damage for killing 7 1/1s? It would be 7 times 3, right? Take 21. It's a good ship button, kind of, but like compared to like Corpse Rend and stuff, right? Like I'd rather discard cards or whatever. Taking that much damage in arena is just scary. But you're still gonna have people playing Corpse Render and stuff, right? All right, Employee of the Month. Next card, 2 mana 3/2 demon. Battlecry. Give a friendly minion lifesteal. This art is great. Yeah, this one's I like the flavor a lot of this card. It's funny. Fuck, man, I hate just giving things lifesteal though. Like it's gonna be such a frustrating card to lose to. Like I don't like that this card's in the game. It's just because it's gonna be good. It's a 2 mana 3/2, and it's just gonna be some random healing. And if they, you're trying to smork someone and they throw it on like a big minion, it's just like. It's permanent, right? Yeah, like, doesn't this card feel like it should be a one-time thing, too? Like, it would feel much more balanced if it was like, give a friendly minion lifesteal this turn. But giving a minion lifesteal, period, God, that's just an insane effect. But yeah, I think it's like a 4, probably. 4 or so. You're gonna have to be more careful trying to rush down Warlocks, I think. For sure. This antique healbot days. Oh man, that was a long time ago now. All right, on to Warrior. Punch card. 3 mana, give your hero +3 attack and also damages adjacent minions this turn. Seems like a good card. Cleave effects are still pretty decent in Arena. You can use it to just kill one thing, but ideally you kind of use it to AoE. It's fine. It's probably like a 3. Like, it's not like super premium, but it's good. It's a good card. Good, fine, all right. Maybe I'll give it a 3.5. I don't know. I'll give it a 3.5. It's all right. Reserved Spot. 3 mana. Give a random minion in your hand +4/4. It's the only one there. Reduce its cost by 2. Like, it just seems like a shit arena card, right? It's like, I don't know what the idea is. You're probably trying to buff a specific minion in standard, but it's like, you're going to have more than one minion in hand, so you're paying 3 mana, do nothing. You buff something you're going to hope that's relevant. It's just ass. It's just a bad card. Keck W. All right. Alloy Advisor. 4 mana, 2/6 mech. Taunt. Whenever this takes damage, gain 3 armor. I mean, this is better than the last card, but it's like, I mean, the idea is you buff it, right? Like, if you can't hand buff it, it's just like, if you're just playing as a 4 mana 2/6, it's going to feel kind of bad, but there's a chance you gain 6 armor off of it. It's not the worst. It's like a fine card. Like a 3, maybe? Zeddy said this was a 4 out of 5 in Arena. It's not that good, I don't think. But it's okay. Like, it's a lot of defense. So, but yeah, that's the thing is, like, a 2/6 is just so bad these days. Like, if you think about that neutral, the Rush card that gains 4 attack, it's like a 6/5 when you attack with it, and it's just going to, like, clean kill this. And it's like, a 4 mana 2/6 is just, that's not good stats anymore. Yeah. All right. I think I go with like a 2.5. 2.5 this one. But I mean, again, if you hand buff it, it could be all right. It's opium. All right, chat. We're on to neutrals. So this one's going to take a little while to review. This is Dream Planner Zephyrus. Clearly paying homage to the old Zephyrus from, I don't know, when was that? That's got to be 5 years ago now? 6 years ago? Dream Planner Zephyrus. 3 mana, 3/2 elemental. Battlecry. Choose a travel tour to get 2 potentially perfect cards from it. First thing I see is it's elemental. So we're gonna get this card from like Nimbus and stuff. So the random elementals are just gonna be like, oh boy, that's gonna be fun. All right, so how does this work? Choose a travel tour to get 2 potentially perfect cards from it. So let me see if I have the thing done here. So you can pick extravagant tour. Oh, it just barely fits. Extravagant tour. Get 2 random cards that can potentially spend a lot of mana. Hectic tour. Get 2 random cards that can potentially deal damage to enemy hero. Or modest tour. Get 2 random cards that can potentially impact the enemy's battlefield. So do we... Oh, there's a list here of like everything you can get from it. Already? They have that? Just cut this off. So what does that mean potentially, by the way? Like, does that mean that, like, does some of the ones in the pool of damage not actually do damage? Like, what does that mean? It's gonna be kind of cut off on the right, but you know. Okay, so the spinned mana versions are Shadow Ice Block, Lay on Hands, Antonidas. I mean, a lot of these are kind of shit, aren't they? Like, no flame, but Ancient of Lore? Like, what? I mean, these cards can be good, right? Draxus can be good. Tyrion can be good. I don't think I'm gonna be playing it for the spin mana version, chat. That looks kind of monk ass. All right, damage enemy hero. So lightning bolt, soulfire, eviscerate, wind fury, mind blast, frostbolt, fireball, savage roar, Leroy. Okay. I mean, again, the power for it comes from so which of these don't let you do face damage? I don't understand. I guess Wind Fury, if you don't have a minion, is the reason it's like potentially. Like all of the rest of them do damage to the face in some regard, right? All right, impact enemy's battlefield. Equality, consecrate, frost nova, hex, holy nova, lightning storm, swipe, shadow madness. It's an interesting card. I feel like it's gonna be hard to get exactly what you want. So sorry, is it random? You just get 2 random ones? Is that it, chat? Let's go back to the card. Get 2 random cards potentially. I mean, I feel like you'll be using it for burn most of the time. That's the way it looks. Like, it looks like it'll be like a finisher. Like, I'll be taking the damage and hope that I get like a decent one. Because like some of these are so situational, like a Shadow Flame or Ruin. Like, what if it's on 5 or more attack? Shadow Madness, you know, like. I don't know, man. What do you guys think this card's like super like top tier? Okay, let me put it this way. You're offered this card or Chadgar. What are you taking? This card or Chadgar? Which one are you taking? Like, like it's not even close, right? Like Chadgar is like 10 million times better, which also is going to be in fucking like it's still going to be an arena after 5 million years for some reason. But this is neutral. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, well, let's put it this. Are you taking this card or Incendious? Like, I'm erupting every time on my enemies over this, right? This card or Cheese? Well, let me know when I'm taking this card, because I'm not taking this card in, like, most of those situations. You're taking this over Cheese? No shot. No fucking shot. Hell no. Give me the Cheese. You guys are all taking this over Incendious. You guys are haters on Incendious. Incendious is PogChamp. Anyhow, it's a good card. Like, it's a good legendary, I would say. Like a 4.5 or something, I would say. I don't even think I'd give it a 5, man. The pool of cards is It gives you 2 cards, but like some of those are kind of ass. I don't know, man. I don't think this card's like an easy 5. Like it's obviously you can tailor to the situation, which makes it strong. Like I'm okay with giving it like a 4, 4.5, but I mean, if you compare this card to like the original Zephrys when it came out, like the original Zephrys was like an I win card. Because like it gave you something that used your mana. It like, I don't know, man. This card, it feels like it's like a mediocre version of that. It's not limited to singles though. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. Wait, no, Zephrys wasn't either. Wasn't Zephrys run everything? Wait, was Zephrys conditional? You had to be a singleton deck for Zephrys? Okay, maybe you guys are right. Yeah. Okay, that is true. That is true. Okay, fair. This you can just have an indie deck. That's fair. I still feel like it's just not. I don't know. It doesn't feel in a day and age for Hearthstone where you like just always have so many options and so many things in your hand. You don't always have answers, but it just feels kind of mediocre to me. I mean, I'm giving it a 4.5, so obviously it's not like bad, but this feels like a card that should be like an easy 5, and when you look at the options, it does not feel that way to me. So, yeah, I don't know. Kind of feel like the pool of cards is a little bit question mark. Anyhow. All right. Interesting card, then, nonetheless, for sure. All right, Travel Master Dungar. 9 mana, 3/3. Summon 3 minions from your deck that are from different expansions. Okay, someone explain to me, like, what is this good in standard? Like, what the fuck is this card? Like, are people gonna cook up something with this? Like what the fuck is this? Like, why is that one of our legendaries? Like, half of our legendaries aren't in arena because they're the tourist mechanic, and then we get this, like, this one. Like, what the fuck? Isn't this nuts in arena? Is it? Do you think it's going to be nuts in arena? Really? Like, really? Okay, let's... So, you get 3 minions only, man. And you can get, like, a 2-drop or whatever. I don't think this is going to be great in arena. I will say you can try to, like, build your deck around it, but, like, dude, I don't know, man. That seems pretty ass to me. Still better than Frontlines. Guys, you know we're cooked if we're comparing the cards to Frontlines. Like, let's just be clear. If we're like, well, that card is better than Frontlines, like, we're fucked, because that card's like the worst card ever. Like, what the fuck? In arena, at least, right? Oh, God. I don't know. I don't think this card's very good. I think O card is better than this card. Because, like, it's easier to, like, build around. This feels bad. 2? I mean, I wouldn't say it's like a 1. Like, you can maybe make it work, but how is this a legendary in the current year? I just huh? Like, what? Why? All right. Next card, I think, is much better than that card. So the next card is a throwback to Carnivorous Cube. This is Carnivorous Cubicle. 5 mana, 4/6. Battle cry, destroy a friendly minion. Summon a copy of it at the end of your turns. Wait, why does it say at the end of your turns? Why does it sound, why is the wording so weird on this? Wouldn't it be at the end of your turn? Or are they just trying to make sure that you know that it's every turn? Oh, I see. So it's just to distinguish that it's an effect that happens at the end of each of your turns. It says your, so that makes sense. Okay, fair. I guess in my head, like, it doesn't need to do that. Summon a copy of it at the end of your turn. Okay, I guess we have some cards that do that, but aren't most of them infinite? It doesn't really matter, but the wording kind of threw me off. I think this card's really good, chat. So, if you compare it to the old cube, which now is kind of shit in Arena, the fact that this gives you the card back instantly is a huge deal. Because you don't have to, like, sit around and wait and, like, lose tempo having it stuck in the 4/6. So, I think this card's actually quite strong. And you have to kill it, right? Like, if your opponent doesn't kill it and you get, like, another copy of whatever it is you ate, like, it's going to be nasty. So, I think this card's quite good. No, I think it's a new copy, right? I guess I should double check, chat. I'm assuming it works like the old cube, where like if you eat something, it just comes back as a new copy, right? Not even the beginning of your turn. We skip this iteration. Wait, what do you mean? Yeah, it's a new copy. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I think it's good. Like a 4.5. The stats aren't great on it, but I mean, you'll just be able to use this to like eat a containment unit, or like I guess the one that really stands out is the DK card, right? Like the 2/2 taunt death rattle get 8. Like there's gonna be some pretty gross combos. I guess that's 11 mana though, huh? So you'd have to have that on the board, have it live. That's not that likely to have happened, but it should be good. It should be good. Oh, Harkener. Oh God. Bro, I will fucking FF from Arena forever if my opponent plays Harkener plus this on turn 10. Like, just get me out. Just get me out, dude. Oh, Harkener's out? Okay. Oh, whew, thank God. Whew. Whew. All right. I think it's good, though. I'm going to give it a 4.5. I think it's a card you have to kill. It won't be that easy to kill. I like it. You know, you can even play it after you have a rush minion that, like, has a little bit of life left or whatever, so. Seems pretty good to me. Okay, I'm going to go a little out of order here. I'm going to do Busy Peon first because I'm going to have to rant about the last card soon. I'm going to have to rant about this one, Clumsy, for a bit. So let's do Busy Peon first. All right, 2 mana, 2/3, Busy Peon. Death Rattle, your next location costs 2 less. I think Busy Peon's a good card. Like, you quite often will have one location or, you know, a way to generate a location from, like, the 2/2 Battle Cry or something. So, you know, if you don't have a single location in your deck, it feels kind of bad. But I think this card's pretty solid. You know, like a 4 or so, 3.54. It's just a good card. And in the best case, you know, you're able to play this and then play on the next turn the DK location or something, Horizon's Edge, 2 mana version of that, and a 1-drop or something. I mean, it's quite good. Busy Peon does not look like me. Stop it. Not everything can look just like me. I'll give it a 4. Okay, chat. I think it's time for the final card. And I'll be honest, I feel like the mini set is just better if this isn't a card. Like, I just like Clumsy. Before I rant too much about it, Clumsy Steward, 3 mana, 2/4. After any card is drawn, make it temporary. Like, I just don't understand why you would make this card. Like, who is excited about this card? Like, fucking no one. Like, it's not going to be fun to lose to. It's not going to be fun to play yourself because it's a 3 mana, 2/4. Like, it just, I don't understand why you would print this card. Shut up, all of you saying you like this card. Fuck you. You guys do not like this card. This card is, you do understand what's going to happen. Like, your opponent is going to play this, and you're gonna top deck your Tsunami. Oh, well, sorry. I guess you top deck your Tsunami on turn 4 instead of turn 10, so get fucked. Yeah, sorry, you just don't get that card. Cool, sorry. Sorry about that. I guess get fucked. Like, it's just, I know it's multi-set, but that even makes it more unfun. It's just fun for no one, dude. It's like, oh, let's throw in the draft, the draw RNG. Your opponent's just gonna top deck a playable card each turn and slam it, and you're gonna be like, oh, another card I can't play. Oh, minus another draw. Like, it's just obnoxious. I just don't understand. And here's what's going to happen with this card too. I'm calling it right now. When your opponent plays it, you're going to be the first one to draw. So you're going to get, like, you're going to miss, you're going to get a card that's going to get discarded, right? And then in your head, you're not going to want to, like, kill it, right? Because, like, think about the psychology. You're going to be like, oh, well, I want them to lose a card, right? So then you're going to fucking leave it up because you're like, well, I want them to, and then you're going to have this fucking awkward situation where you're both leaving this stupid 2/4 on the board because you're trying to fuck each other. Oh, I just hate it, man. How is that fun? Okay, here's the issue. Like, okay, let's talk about what fun is. So for me, the best use of temporary is Snow Flurry. Like, I think Snow Flurry, Sweet and Snow Flurry is an S+ tier design card. Because, like, you have to decide when you just have to tempo out the 3-drop and probably don't get much value from the spells. You have to decide when you play on turn 5 or turn 6 where you can play some of them, but not all of them. Ideally, you can hold it and play it in the late game. But the thing that makes it fun is, like, it doesn't feel like you lost cards. It's like, oh, these are the cards I could have played, but they're not like cards I drafted. It's not like I minus a draw. This card is just going to feel so miserable to have it, like, come down, and then just because you happen to draw your 6-cost card, it's just so obnoxious. This card is going to be a non-factor. Well, I will say I don't think this card is going to be drafted much because it's not good. It's a 3-mana 2/4, and it hurts both of you. So I don't think it's a card that's going to have a big impact outside of the fact that it will be generated. Like, you know, I don't know if we still have concoctions or stuff in, but random 3-drops will play this card. Or, random 3 summoning effects will get this card. But, like, my point is it just, or you might evolve and do it or something. It just, I don't understand why it has to be in the game. I just, it's one of those cards where, like, why? Like, can someone enlighten me? Is it, like, going to be used in some combo deck in Wild or something? Like, why is this a card? Why did they think this was fun? Can someone tell me? The Dredge set is still in. Okay, so you're telling me that it's fine because you're going to play it on turn 5 with the 2-mana Dredge, and then you know you can play your next card. So it's going to require... Is that what you're telling me? It punishes combo decks. Okay, so because this is the best way for them to address combo decks? Really? That they think that is the best way. Mill support feels okay, man. I think we're all going to have a lot of fun with this card in chat. I mean, again, I just don't think it's going to come up that often because I'm not going to draft it. So, but I don't know. I just don't understand why this is a card. This is just one of the cards that it's rare where I'm like, this card just makes no sense. But to me, this card makes no sense. It's making temporary really unfun. Like, I guess that was kind of my point, is that, like, Snow Flurry is a really fun card because it's like, oh, these are the possibilities. You get to see the possibilities. But if you can't play them all, you understand that happens depending on when you have to play it. This, like, the feeling of, oh, I drew a card that is more mana than I have mana crystals for, so therefore I just lose the card, is a really bad feeling. I mean, again, it goes back to my idea of, like, why would you bring mind control tech back into Arena for 2 mana more, take away the fun aspect of it, as in the randomness, which is, like, what makes for epic moments, and make it targeted. Like, the people making that kind of a decision, I just don't understand how they think that's fun. It's like losing the identity of the card. Like, temporary is fun when it's like, oh, I could have maybe done this. Oh, that's cool. Temporary is not fun when it means I just don't get a card. I just don't get a draw. So, anyhow, I'm done with my ranting, but I guess I have to give this card like a review. I mean, it's a 1. It's not a good card. It's not good. You won't be drafting it much, but it's just like, it's just a card that makes no sense to me. I don't get it. Should say second card drawn. Yeah, I mean, then it wouldn't really do much at all. But I don't know. I hate this card, man. Is it so bad they even give a shit about the cards anymore? I mean, I think some of the mini set cards are okay. All right, so what do I think is good in the mini set? That card's fine. It's not like, oh my god, this is super cool and fun. But, you know, there's these locations. I think this card's cool. It's epic, so we won't see a lot of it. Zephyrus, in theory, is a cool card. It'll make for good moments. I think the pool could be curated a little bit more, but I think that card's cool. I mean, here, let me make this a little bit bigger so it's easier for you guys to see. But, I mean, like, these warrior cards are mostly ass. Or, like, some okay cards. Deadline's a good card. There's not... I'm going to say it. There's not enough random generation, chat, in this set. I need more random generation. I figured it out. Like, this is random generation, I guess, but, like, that's just trash tier. Like, what the hell is Sharp Shipment? Like, what is that? I don't, like, these cards are just, like, they're cards. I mean, I think Vacation Plan is a good card. Busy Bot's a good card. That card just seems, like, this is random, but it's just bad, you know? Like, so much of the random just seems bad. I guess this is going to be strong random. But, like, is that a good thing? Do we need Mini Scourge for Mage? Seems bad. Those are, like, okay, kind of. I think Care Bear is a good card. Or Handle with Bear is a good card. Brochures just seem kind of underwhelming. I mean, that card's fine. I don't know. I just see it as, like, we're going back and we're, like, Chadgar is just going to still be winning games after 3 months. Has it been 3 months or more? And it's like, do we have to still have that being, like, the thing? Or, like, I actually honestly think the sets that are coming back are going to matter more. Do we know, chat, if the hero cards are going to be in? Have they said anything about that? Because we're getting a bunch of hero cards from, is it Alrightttt? I think actually having those cards in the meta will shake things up more than really any of these cards. My guess is they're going to put them in. So, what do I think will be strong? I guess I should do a little thing of, like, how much do I think it will change? I don't think any of these cards are strong enough for, like, it's going to define what's good or bad in the arena meta. I think Warrior got kecked. I think Warlock overall got pretty good cards. 2 out of 3 are good. Fine Prince, bad. Shaman, that legendary won't be in. These are mediocre at best, but Shaman's already so good. Rogue got 1 good and 2 awful. Priest got 2 okay, 1... I mean, they're all, like, okay, but it's not going to... Like, these aren't the kind of cards that are going to make it, like, a good arena class, right? Paladin got some pretty good stuff. 2 out of 3, I'd say. Mage, Tourist, not in, obviously. Burn Down's awful. Huddle Up will be good. Hunter, like, 1 good one and 2 pretty bad ones. Druid got 2 good, 1.5 good ones. And what the heck? Dude, dude, I just... 3 mana, 3/3 weapon. It does as much damage to you as it does to the enemy or minions. Like, what the fuck is that? Anyhow. Hey, we get a rotation. I can't complain too much. There's some cool cards. It'll be fun to jump into. If you guys are watching this review on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. In the extremely unlikely case that you think I missed on one of these cards, let me know in the comments. Probably won't happen, but just in case. And yeah, I hope you guys are excited for the new rotation. If you missed it, it's dual class again. Alrightttt Valley is in, and what's the other one that's in, chat? Which chat carry me? Alrightttt Valley is back, and Skullomance. There we go. Skullomance and Alrightttt Valley are back. And what do we lose? What's out? Sunken City out? Did 2 come out or just 1 go out? Yeah, dual class again. Yep. Yeah, it's more I don't know, man. I think it's because they think the cards just fit better in dual class, but yeah, man. Max out. Dready milking review time on that temporary too far. No, I mean, there's no reason for me to milk review time. Like, it's just that card. I don't understand why that's a card. So Titans is out. Okay. Okay, Titans is out.